everyone. Welcome to the Oklahoma Hall of Fame Discovery Days. First off, we would like to thank our Free Family Fund sponsors, the Chickasaw Nation and the Inasmuch Foundation. So thank you to our sponsors. And here at the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, our mission is telling Oklahoma's story through its people. And because this is our mission, we're going to be focusing and highlighting one Oklahoma Hall of Fame member today, which is Patricia Wheeler Langholz. So Patricia Wheeler Langholz moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and quickly began working to improve the educational and cultural life of Oklahomans. She is an avid sports enthusiast. She has hiked to the Alps and the Rockies and even visited the Arctic Circle. So that's a hint at our theme today. Langholz also climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa, floated Oregon's Rogue River, and backpacked through Sierra National Park. So because, she visited the Arctic Circle and did all this hiking in kind of cold weather climates where I'm sure she saw different Arctic animals. Today we are going to be reading Hush Little Polar Bear by Jeff Mack, and then we're going to be doing a polar bear craft today because 'tis the wintry season, as you can tell from my background here. So I'm going to stop sharing that and start sharing my document camera. So, Hush Little Polar Bear by Jeff Mack. Hush, little polar bear, sleep in the snow and dream of the places where sleeping bears go. Like you got a sailboat going on over here, another polar bear here. Land on a beach and then follow a trail. Wade through a marsh where tall grasses grow, where butterflies flutter and warm breezes blow. Bounce through a pasture where cows come to graze. Creep through a cave with an underground maze. Swim through a waterfall, splash in a stream, paddle past rainbows that glisten and gleam. Swing through the trees from a dangling vine. Forge through a desert where stars shimmer and shine. Climb a tall mountain where billy goats play, where breezes grow cooler and clouds fade away. Leap from the peak and then float through the sky. Soar as the hawks and the eagles fly by. Dive through the clouds to a town far below with the lights from the street lamps and houses aglow. Drift through my window, crawl into bed, curl up beside me and rest your sweet head. Pretend that you're sleeping and dreaming like me. Then look right beside you, and that's where I'll be. See, she's even got the book right here on her bed. And that is the story of Hush Little Polar Bear by Jeff Mack. So today we are going to be making a polar bear kind of landscape. And so the supplies you need will all be in your folder labeled 12/7, because that is the date of recording and the date of our Discovery Days. So in your kit, you should have a half sheet of white paper, a half sheet of blue paper, and a full sheet of blue paper. And the shades of blue might change. That is totally okay. No need to worry about that. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a crayon to trace my hand on the white sheet. So it doesn't really matter, what you use in terms of the color of the crayon. I might just go for black because that seems like the easiest thing. So I'm just going to take my white and outline here. This is going to be our polar bear's body. So that's kind of what our polar bear, and I'm going to actually show you an example before we go any further so that you can kind of see what it is supposed to look like. So this is kind of what we're going for here. So I actually might redo my hand just to make the little round bit at the bottom. So we might also need to make a little circle as well. So if you want to save enough room on your paper, I might just flip it over. But this is kind of what we're looking for at the end. So we'll stop sharing and then go back to my document camera here. So I'm going to retry. See, we're always learning how to do things differently, right? So you want to be sure to do your whole hand, including the back of your hand. So I will do that over again. Okay, and I'm going to try to do around my wrist. I might just have to kind of do that. Okay, so that is kind of what my handprint looks like. So next we are going to just cut it out. Now your handprint is probably going to be a lot smaller than mine. So you're going to have maybe baby polar bear, a little bit smaller. So there is my handprint. Okay. And I'm going to keep the scraps of my white paper because I'm going to show you the picture again of the reference. See, this is, we're learning how to look at a reference and see what it looks like. So looks like we're going to kind of just do the head there. Okay, so then I'm just going to basically trace the head. I should probably switch camera over. And then you can also see that the other piece, the smaller half sheet of blue paper, is going to be our iceberg that our polar bear is standing on. So I'm just going to draw as big of a circle as I can manage for the head here. Let's see here. Actually, I might just big of a head I can make. So that's going to kind of be my polar bear. So I might make the back, cut the back a little bit to make it look a little bit more like a polar bear here. Maybe I'll glue it on and then be able to kind of reference what it looks like. Yeah, I think I'm going to glue it on first, actually, to see what it looks like, because it's got kind of a hunched over back and looks a little funny, but that's okay. Ugh. So I'm just going to glue my head onto the thumb here. Okay, and then with that, I'm going to cut the back so it's not as arched. And there we go. Kind of has a huge head, right? It's funny. Okay, and then maybe I'll cut down the legs a little bit, a little more even. Our polar bear, and I might even cut down the head a little bit. I made my head a little too large compared to the body. Just want to make it look not like it's gonna fall over, right? Because it's so big. So, and next I'm just gonna put some little toes in here on the legs. You could even, in fact, that's what I'm going to do with my scraps here. So you don't want to waste anything, right? I'm going to make little ears, I think. So I'm just going to cut little ears out of this. So that my polar bear can hear things, right? And then I'm going to take my pink crayon, which I forgot to say, in your kit, you should also have a pink crayon like this, and then a black crayon. So with the pink crayon, I'm just going to take it off so I can color a little bit. I'm just going to put a little bit in the ears, make them look more like ears. It's kind of hard to see on the document camera because it's white on white, so you can't really see it very well, but I'm also going to draw some eyes and a little nose. And it's also helpful to look at this for a little reference, right? So then I'm going to do a little nose here. Right now it's kind of looking like a mouse, which maybe it's a winter mouse, right? Maybe when it's with that iceberg, it'll look a little bit more like a polar bear. And I'm just going to put a little bit of pink for the cheeks. Okay. So that's my polar bear. And then clean up my area a little bit here. I'm also going to save the scraps because I might make some snowflakes with those. That might be a little fun. So then I'm going to take my blue piece of paper and I'm going to make a little iceberg for my polar bear to be on. So you can do this in a few different ways. I'm trying to think what I want to do here. Do I want to make it as big? See, there are many options when it comes to making an iceberg. So I'm going to outline with a white crayon. You don't have to do this. You could go straight to cutting or outline with a black crayon, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to make it kind of a jagged iceberg here. This is going to be the central iceberg, and then I might make a few other smaller ones just based on what I have. So that is my iceberg. So I'm going to glue that onto the center of my paper here, or it could be off center. It doesn't matter. Wherever you want to put it works. Of course, this is your polar bear, so you get to 100% decide what you want to do. If you want to make two polar bears, make a little parent polar bear and then a baby polar bear. You can do whatever you want. So there's my iceberg, and then let's see, where do I want to put? And then my polar bear is going to be there. Which again, I might just a bit of a hunchback. So I might just now it looks a little bit more like a mouse, but that's okay. You know, we're maybe it's a mouse polar bear, right? Teeny tiny. So there we go. And then I might do, let's see, what do I want to do here? Over a little bit. Yeah, you can always change and adapt, right? Isn't that a good lesson? Then I'm going to take my white crayon and maybe do a few snowflakes here and there because it is winter. I might take my black crayon because this is water and do a few lines to show that the water is moving. Okay. maybe a few more. And then I might take the scraps of my blue paper and make another tinier. Well, no, I like it having just one iceberg, but you can make a few different ones. Okay, so let's check back the reference photo and see how I did. I think that's pretty good. So that was our reference photo. And then let me show you mine one more time. And then this is mine, which, hey, I don't think is so bad. If you have more blue paper, I kind of ran out, I didn't have enough, but you could do more icebergs. You could make another polar bear if you wanted to, but you can really do whatever you want. So that's the end of our story time and our craft time today. So thank you so much for spending some time with me and for joining the Oklahoma Hall of Fame Discovery Days. Happy holidays, and we hope to see you next week. Bye.